And let's just get into things. In the bottom left, in the blue, he is, for XCOM AGO, the Polish Zerg player, ELAZER.
And in the top right, from Team Envy, of course hailing from South Korea, one of two Envy Terrans. You know, obviously the lesser one, but it's Bunny! And I love Bunny. He's amazing. And I want to see some creative stuff. I don't think we'll see it in this matchup. It's definitely very much more so TVP, where Bunny, I think, is more innovative. But with that being said, I want to see some crazy play. I want to see the Bunny that managed to almost take out Dark, you know, when he was really on form.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a big ELAZER fanboy here, so I just want ELAZER to 2-0, win in 5 minutes each time, and go from there. Then, you know, 2-0 Maru, and we're like, oh, wow, ELAZER is back on. Okay, that's not going to happen. And I'm just riffing here. But, you know, I do want to see a good series. I think we got what we expected out of Mana versus Maru. I don't think anyone is too surprised at the results. I did like the kind of attempted different builds.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm very interested to see what ELAZER has prepared. We talked about this. He likes to play a little bit more kind of a late game style. Or, sorry, an early game style. That's the opposite of what I meant to say. In this matchup, I mean, he's always capable of playing late, but he does have some kind of interesting, at least traditionally, it has some interesting ideas about the game. And I think that's actually going to play very well into what Bunny wants to do, because we talked about Bunny's builds, and you may have noticed they're all different all-ins. Bunny,
yep.
I would argue, a much more aggressive Z or TVZ player than his teammate at this point. Yes, Maru has the ability, but when you think of Maru, you think of late game, he's going to take it to 20 minutes and just kill you with Ghost Control and Liberator Control and just general control and multitasking, all this fun stuff. Bunny, again, yeah, he's a little bit more early mid-game focused, so I'm excited to see how these two players, they really, how their styles match up.
Yeah, and we're already seeing Maru. You're talking about, you mentioned Maru, and then my mind immediately that note. Bunny is going to be going for the 2-1-1, so taking a little bit of a note out of his teammate's book here with this opener. It's one that kind of fades in and out of popularity, just depending, I think, on the meta for the Zerg, especially, and what kind of unit compositions Zergs are liking to go with. Right now, with it just being Ling Bane, you know, the 2-1-1 is a decently safe opening. It transitions well into, you know, Widow Mines or even tanks if your opponent does end up going for roaches. And so it's a solid opener. We'll see if Bunny does manage to get too much damage with it. As you said, ELAZER really plays around that early to mid game with the Ling Bane, with being aggressive. And so I don't imagine that the initial 2-1-1 drop will actually get altogether that much damage, but it really depends on the follow-up for both these players.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's always interesting. So with Bunny here, you talk about the 2-1-1. He is going for the traditional 2-1-1, right? Where you get it's 2-1-1. There is no third command center for quite a while. You're moving out on the map at 4:30. You're hitting at 5 minutes. What we've actually seen his teammate do a lot more is the TY 2-1-1, right? Where you get that third command center. You do get like 2 Hellions, and then your 2-1-1 hits close to 5:30, 5:45. And yeah, it's not quite as powerful, but it does have an economy behind it. Which is really useful, because if we look at how a Zerg player is going to respond, assuming it gets scouted here, ELAZER has a lot of room to not build much of anything, right? He can go and just pound drone, because there's not going to be a lot of pressure on the map. Hellions are not going to be causing problems, although Bunny appears to be trying to do something about that. He does have 4 Marines on the map and a Reaper, but he's actually going to be able to successfully run away. Just because ELAZER is doing everything he can to not build Zerglings early. Now, he's going to have to put up a flood of about 32, or he's going to have to get up to about 32 Lings right around that 4:30-ish mark when the Terran gets ready to move out. But ahead of time, you're just hitting drones. You're just getting as greedy as possible, because there is no pressure that the Terran can realistically put on the map outside of this build. Which is, and again, I think you were talking about how this build goes into and out of favor. It very much is, because the Zerg player can be so greedy through the first 5 minutes of the game. Again, because there is no map pressure. But Bunny now getting ready to move out on the map here. ELAZER will barely have Banelings for this. Like, Baneling Nest will be finishing as Bunny moves on the map, but no Banelings will be morphed just yet, which is fine. The traditional hold with this is just a bunch of Queens. You get Lings on the surround. Queens target by the medevacs. You're going to be fine. And yeah, ELAZER, he has this timed out perfectly. Lings just about to pop. Queens in position. And of course, Bunny on the edge of creep. He's not going to really be able to wedge himself in one of those annoying positions as the Reaper dives in. It does go down. Bunny looking to stim on in here, but there are 6 queens, so that's not going to happen.
Yep. Very, very good timing there by ELAZER, as we are seeing our wonderful, wonderful lobby people just having a bit of a chat. But yep, great timing, and that's exactly what you expect here. You know, ELAZER, everything there pointed towards it being a 2-1-1, just with no Hellions, with just how the timing was looking when his Ling went into Scout, and so is perfectly able to just defend this very easily, and even has a 4th coming up in very, very good time, which is great to see. Sometimes you'll see Zerg players, especially against a player who's going for this 2-1-1, and Bunny is doing the follow-up with the 3rd Medevac and the Widowmine, so this is very much from the Maru playbook. This is what we saw him do so much in the Asus ROG tournament. What some Zergs will get caught on this and just actually not even drone that 4th base and stay on 3. I really hope ELAZER does just drone up, because right now he's already sitting at a decent worker advantage, 14 or 16 workers in the lead, and he should have enough Lings to decently defend this drop as it goes into the main, but there's nothing here quite yet, so the drones will have to be pulled. That Widowmine can be burrowed up, does have Cloak as well, so that will just make it even more dangerous if you don't have detection here for ELAZER. As folks fire, 8 drones go down, but looks like the Marines, oh, this is a very nice choke point actually. The Ling's not able to get any surface area, and Bunny finding a lot more damage than I initially thought he would.
Yeah, the target fire fantastic as well. The queens were just not there. We saw Bunny. He said, look, I'm going to drop into the 4th. ELAZER was set up there. He had 7 queens. He had all his Lings. But one of the benefits or the downsides of this map, depending on how you want to talk about it, is that it's pretty accessible to go from this 4th base that ELAZER decided to take into the main. So all the Lings were on the 4th, none were in the main. We did see ELAZER, again, just a little bit slow on the uptake on that one. And also, he went double Evo. We should not forget that, but he only has +1 armor on the way, +1 carapace. His gas count is actually incredibly low. He's only on 3 gas for the moment, going for that pure Ling Bane style, which is fine. But again, you do want to see +1 if you do go double Evo. There we go. We're all fine there. Widowmine drops on into the 3rd base here. 7 more workers do go down. Bunny, he started to swarm a little bit, getting really pretty much every. Yeah, the 2-1-1 at the start didn't get much, but at this point he's killed, what is it, 13, 14 workers. No queens yet though, but 13, 14 workers, and he's not going to be too upset about where he is now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Cloaked Widowmine drop is something that we've seen kind of just burst into popularity very recently, especially players like Clem doing it so much to just find early damage. Zergs, they usually want to try and skimp on that detection. And so, well, actually, ELAZER's just going for a surround, and I think he actually has found all of Bunny's army just out of nowhere. ELAZER pulls the trigger across the map, and this is what you were saying. ELAZER does the weirdest timings in this matchup where he just says, okay, I want to fight now. And he has found actually some incredible damage so far. That mineral line, 12 SCVs go down. Bunny will be able to push it back, but ELAZER evening up the damage.
Yeah, absolutely. He gets 13 workers. I mean, some of those were friendly fire from the Widowmines, to be fair. So Bunny, I guess, killing some of those. But he also cancels the 4th. So that's going to be really nice here. Now we have ELAZER on 5 bases, Bunny on 3. But ELAZER can't really fight now. Now he's going to be forced to back up here, just trying to buffer for his Banes as long as he can. Now Baneley's looking to roll on in. Now they are off 3. Bunny with a decent target fire, but will be forced to pick up. But it is 1-1 versus 0-0. So if Bunny can bring his army together, he's going to be a good spot. But ELAZER is making sure that that does not happen. Just saying, look, you're in your medevac. I'm not going to let you leave that. And now we're flooding in once again off of only 50 drones. He never remade his drones there, Titan. We're talking about weird timings and potential for Ling Bane all-ins. I did not realize that he has not built a single drone since he lost those 15.
ELAZER is just holding down the Z key right now, and he's actually gotten some very, very decent trades off of it. And yeah, this is just, it was so odd because it was before +1 carapace was finished, before +1 melee attacks was finished. And I definitely think it was a situation of ELAZER saying, I think I can catch Bunny out here. He noticed that there was medevacs. There was a medevac across the map. He noticed that, of course, the Widowmine drops had gone through and just said, all right, I'm going to see if I can find some damage. Caught Bunny out, and now he's just continuing to just go across the map. But ELAZER's supply is dropping now as he's starting to trade unfavorably again. As you said, he's only on 44 workers. 6 more go down, I believe, to a Widowmine drop in the back behind all of this. And as ELAZER, I mean, you found the damage. Why would you not just drone up off of it? GG has to be called. Bunny's going to take game 1.
And in the bottom left, in the red, the Team Envy Terran taking game number 1 off of an incredible, really fantastic hold for Team Envy, Bunny.
we talked about him being aggressive. We were not expecting it. In the top right-hand corner, it is ELAZER. And Hardwire is definitely a map where, you know, if ELAZER does want to, again, maybe do a 1-1 Ling Flood on that third base, there are a lot of attack paths for it. So I think this is a map that definitely, if ELAZER is going to try and even it up and tie up this series, this is the map to do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Going back to that last game for a second, when you go for that Ling Bane style that we did see ELAZER go for, which I do like, it is valid, especially against a very aggressive Terran. One of the things we're looking for is when you having that style, it does mean that you're going to have a lot more upgrade parity with the Terran. Or you're going to be able to sync things up a little bit more. But again, because ELAZER did take that damage, he had to take drones off gas. You're on low gas. You're going to be on 3 gas for a while anyways with that build. But take drones off gas to try to catch up to stuff. And that did mean that with that push, that first push that ELAZER had where it looked like he was going to overrun Bunny, it was 1-1 versus 0-0. And yes, ELAZER was able to force the lift. He was able to get 13 workers or 15 workers. He was able to make something happen there. But we saw the trade. That was part of the reason why we saw the trades start to go worse for him. So I'm curious here if ELAZER goes for the same thing. If it is still, oh yeah, I'm going to go for just pure Ling Bane. I'm not going to get Hydras. This is just the Ling Bane setup off low gas. Is he going to be able to get his upgrade parity just a little bit more? Are we going to see Bunny go and do enough damage to preclude that? Because again, with a 2-1-1, your tech is not going to be all that fast. There's a reason it's either going to be a single eBay or it's delayed double, whatever the case. It does mean that you do have trade-offs other than just having a later third base with this 2-1-1 setup. Yeah,
and as you're saying about the upgrade parity, I would like to see ELAZER play around that a bit more. I think in that last game, after he got the initial damage, regrouped and waited for the 1-1 to finish instead of just continually flooding, maybe it could have had a bit more chance to do damage. With that being said, Bunny, as we talked about, it was very, very well set up, but we shall see. Heading on into, this second game, you're having the Reaper poke around, take some of the damage there. Bunny will have to get on out, and ELAZER will be just taking that low ground third. That is the standard one. It's the easiest to defend. It only has the single attack path coming out there, just directly facing the Terran's bases. And in this game, we are not having the 2-1-1 from Bunny. He is just going back to your standard 1-1-1, your Destiny Cloud Fist with your Hellions that are going to be coming out. Just try and get some map control. So this is a build. It does lend itself towards a faster third base. Bunny did open up with double gas, though, so it will be slightly more delayed because he's probably looking to get one of those starport units out just a bit quicker, and it should be the Banshee with that tech lab going down.
Yeah, you talk about standard builds. I mean, Hellion Banshee with a third base behind it. Probably the most generic build, the default. It's Bunny playing. I'm not sure he even has a default, but look at Terrans in general. They're just kind of the most generic default. It gives you map control. It gives you worker pressure if you can kind of get your Banshees into a spot, especially if you do go for that second Banshee, which you almost always do. Now, Bunny here is going to try to dive on in, and he will get that building creep timber. That's going to be very nice indeed. Also, he notices that ELAZER does not have a lot of Zerglings. He kind of cut things because he's like, oh, well, no Terran is ever going to dive on in, which Bunny says, haha, no, I am actually diving in here. 3 workers go down immediately. Does he get the line up? Okay, 5 workers, and that should be 5 or 6 workers should be it. There we go. The rest of it goes down, but still 6 workers go down at a period of this game where you do not expect that to happen whatsoever. There we go. Nice catch. 6 will be the number. But the Hellions are dead. That does mean Bunny has a little bit less map control for now. But second Banshee is on the way. They will have Cloak. There are absolutely spots on Hardwire that you can go and just park a Banshee, get a couple workers, put some pressure on. At the very least, prevent mining from like 1 or 2 mineral patches. And ELAZER, he didn't take quite as much damage as he did in that previous game, but he took it earlier. And because of this is Hellion Banshee, he's going to have to go in, drop 250 minerals. 250 minerals on spores because his lair is going to be delayed just as a result of the build he's going for. And all that means that, well, again, that's a lot more money that ELAZER's going to have to commit to this. And he's already doing it from a position where he's lost some workers. So, again, not the best economic start in either game for our Polish Zerg player.
No, but I do like this game so far. a lot better. Just this position for ELAZER has a healthy queen count, is already, still sitting 12 workers ahead of the Terran. And even though he did lose those 6, has been very, very diligent about droning up. Again, he went for the least amount of Zerglings possible that he could to defend those Hellions, and still only managed to take 6 workers of damage. I think it was even a bit light for how much damage Bunny could have gotten had the drone pull not been as quick as it was. And these Banshees haven't gone anything. ELAZER's been really good about having enough queens at each base, and he's going up to a lair. He's going up to a Roach Warren and double Evo Chamber. This, BeoMulf, this is kind of smelling like that 1-1 Roach timing.
I mean, you see the 1 and the 1 pop up there in the Evo Chambers as well. A Hardwire, of course. It's not the most wide open third. That title probably goes by a mile to Curious Minds. But it's fairly open. The rest distance is not terrible. A bunch of Roaches can go across the map. And in a similar idea to like Oxide or something, this build is powerful. This build is terrifying when it catches the first Terran push off guard. And that's the big one. So 1-1 is underway. We do have the Roach Warren underway here. And the Roaches are now going to prop out. So the goal here for ELAZER is, as Bunny is moving out on the map right now to kind of proactively defend his third by being aggressive with it, if he can go and if he can just catch the army of Bunny as it looks to siege up the first time, speed Roaches, 1-1, all that, run across the map, immediately break the third, he's going to be in a very good position to win this game. It's all about surprise here, but there's always the other option that this is maybe not a 1-1 timing so much as it is a, well, I'm going to take a 4th, I'm going to get ranged upgrades, but I'm going to go very quickly into a Hydra Den, into a Lurker Den, and, just go that dark style that has been so successful. Now, again, Bunny will have his 1-1 just a little bit faster. It's kind of okay with this 1-1 style. You're not trying to get to 1-1 first. Just having that 1-1 synergy is really nice. So Roaches here are going to be able to defend all of this. This is going to be the reveal, though, and now Bunny is going to be able to react appropriately. We have Marauders on the field a lot earlier than we might otherwise have it. Tanks, second factory on the way. Bunny knows what he's up against now. Or at least he knows the idea of what he's up against. And he's going to be able to respond, at least as he views appropriately.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bunny, I think, already had a little bit of a clue. He saw the 2 extra gases go down on the natural base very, very early, saw them on the 3rd, so knew that it was either a Spire or the Roaches did scout a Spire, so had to know that it was the Roach, and that tank production had begun a while back. And I mean, I gotta say, this is looking like the 1-1 push. ELAZER's across the map, so it's not gonna be oh my god, what?
Well, that's one less defensive tool here, as the Queens, I said, this might be the dark idea. You get into quick Hydras, and it's good. You get into quick Lurkers, and +2 Lurkers are terrifying. I guess, I was just filling and saying nothing that meant anything, because not only is ELAZER walking with Roaches across the map, he's walking with his Queens. He has a lot of pressure. That being said, as much as we talked about how kind of wide open this area can be, this sieged up position, this setup from Bunny is going to be damn hard for our Polish Zerg to break. Now, the 4th base is going to get broken, which does give ELAZER a little bit more room to find his way on in. But notice he is droning up behind this. He's on 81 workers now. We saw 2-2 get started. And yeah, it's going to be a little late compared to Bunny's 2-2. But I think we are going to start to see him here go and really try to transition out of this, go into that Lurker style, because I have no idea how ELAZER is supposed to break. Yeah, there we go. Hydra Den, Infestation Pit, the whole shebang. It's kind of what we expected. ELAZER, he gave it the good old college try. Oh, I love this.
But ELAZER, that's a bit of a heavy commit in, loses a lot of Ravagers, but as we were owing about, Bunny, he sends out a fake triple drop, has the actual triple drop going over to that 5th base that ELAZER is trying to establish. He might just fly it straight onto the main. Bunny's doing some really awesome moves this game, because this period where ELAZER doesn't pull the trigger on that attack, he needs to rebuild. He's trying to get up upgrades, get up, the Hydralisk Den. So this is the perfect time for Bunny to attack, because here we go, the drop straight on in. Marines with a Hellbat here to attack, but I think there should be enough Roaches rallying up to at least defend this if ELAZER doesn't pull too many back, and if they don't get caught in that spawning pool. At the same time, Bunny is preparing for a frontal push now with the rest of his Marines and Marauders.
Now, there are only 3 medevacs here, which is not enough to kind of heal everything up, but there are enough Roaches ravaged. It looks like here that even if kind of ELAZER loses this army, quote-unquote, which he won't, he should have enough to defend. That being said, that's a kill, not a cancel on ELAZER's 5th, and yes, going for this style, it is okay to be a little bit lower economy than what you might be used to. It is okay to stay on 4 bases for a while. That's only if you have your Lurker Den, right? If you do decide to kind of turtle up on Lurkers, you're going to be fine. And now we're really starting to see the downside of this build that ELAZER has decided to go for. It is very immobile right? Roaches do not respond to drops nearly as well as Ling Bait Meter or Ling Bait anything does. So we're seeing Bunny absolutely punish that here. 21 workers go down. We saw the 5th base die as well. Queens are dying all over the place. ELAZER now down 50 supply as a Roach player against the Terran.
I mean, the only saving grace here for ELAZER, that double prong attack got so much damage. The only saving grace is that Lurker Den is on the way. But even then, he has so many minerals in his bank. It's not gas. So he's not going to be able to swell to like 12, 13 lurkers with that, leftover supply. He needs to just rebuild on roaches and hydralisks, which again, you don't really want to do. You don't want to rebuild on just straight roach hydra because the roaches are so supply intensive. They're not going to trade well, especially with Bunny having 2/2, getting into +3 for his bio and the +2 tank upgrades. But this massive push is coming out from Bunny. Now, of course, there's going to be no real upgrade advantage with this push, but there's just so much bio.
Yeah, you say, oh, that's a big fungal, but it looks like we're not going to have too much there on the follow-up. You say that at least the saving grace, the Lurker Den is up. That Lurker Den is very late. You want to have the Lurker Den on the way when you start the hive, which of course then means that you can go and you get your lurker upgrade started immediately. You're able to actually have a solid defensive push here. But yeah, Bunny looking to push in right now. Oh, those are big tank shots there. Like half the army dies in an instant. More roaches coming in, and we will have Vipers. They should have enough energy rather soon. They were built about 30 seconds ago. Nice fungals, but again, we're not seeing a lot of the follow-up there. No bios really get dropped on the fungal army as Bunny, he's just stimming to win indeed. GG, it's a Terran date in the winner's match. It's gonna be Bunny versus Maru as the ELAZER falls down.